Hi, I'm Teja Gerken with Peghead Nation, and I'm here with a brand new Taylor guitar that was just introduced at the 2020 Winter NAMM show. It's part of the company's Builder's Edition line of instruments. There are 4 new Builder's Editions introduced this winter, and this is the Builder's Edition 816 CE. Now, 816 already tells us it's a Grand Symphony body-size guitar. Has a width at the lower bout of 16¼ inches, so slightly larger than their Grand Auditorium guitar, and really a very versatile guitar, traditionally great for fingerpicking and strumming as well. Powerful instrument. But this is a completely new Grand Symphony. Builder's Edition Taylors have always been kind of Andy Power's vehicle to kind of showcase some new ideas that he's had. He actually calls them the Director's Cut line of guitars. And as such, this guitar introduces a whole bunch of things that are new for Grand Symphonies, and in a couple cases, something that's completely new for Taylor. So let's start with the V-Class bracing. This is the first Grand Symphony that includes the V-Class bracing that Taylor introduced, first on its Grand Auditoriums and later on the Grand Concerts as well, and the Grand Pacifics, of course. It replaces the X bracing, uses 2 braces that go through the length of the top, kind of in a V shape back here with a couple of tone bars on each side of the top as well. It's been very successful for Taylor's other models, kind of refines the balance of the sound a bit, and it really seems to do it to this Grand Symphony as well. So first of the Grand Symphonies with that V-Class bracing, and we'll probably see that throughout the Grand Symphony line very soon. The guitar also uses a short scale. Traditionally, these models have had Taylor's long scale. This is a 24 7/8 inch scale, so a little bit easier playability, perhaps a little sweeter tone. Other than some custom or limited editions, it's the first time I've seen the short scale used on a guitar larger than a Grand Concert in Taylor's line. So that's a very interesting development right there, and definitely contributes to a great feel of the instrument. You're probably curious by already looking at the guitar what this new Cutaway is. This is what they're calling the Soundport Cutaway, and that is indeed brand new. It's being introduced with this Builder's Edition guitar. From a cutaway perspective, it's kind of a half cutaway. It is cutaway from the top with a piece of wood inserted into the space, while the back remains unchanged. So if you looked at the guitar from the back, you'd never know it's got a cutaway. From the front, of course, you have a cutaway that still allows you access by reaching out with your fingers much easier than a non-cutaway guitar would have, but you keep the vibrating surface of the back intact, and it's a very cool looking design. And of course, it includes a sound port right in the cutaway section of the piece of ebony that's in place right there. Taylor feels that having the additional sound port balances the sound, kind of allows the guitar to breathe a little bit more, and having it placed right here in the cutaway, of course, adds a very cool visual element as well. Like some other Builder's Edition guitars, the guitar has the modified Taylor bridge shape, which is now called the curved wing bridge, and that is another Andy Powers contribution to the aesthetics of the guitar. Still definitely looks like a Taylor bridge, but slightly more rounded and kind of an updated version of the classic Taylor shape. The guitar also has Taylor's silent satin finish, which is kind of in between a standard gloss finish and a more traditional satin finish. I happen to really like the way these look. The idea behind it is that it's a little bit smoother, creates less friction, less handling noise, which can be a great feature to have in the studio or really any critical acoustic playing situation. The guitar also has the kind of rounded edges on both the top and the back, as well as around the fingerboard edges, and just creates a very, very comfortable playing feel all the way around. Now, some Builder's Edition guitars have introduced completely new wood combinations and new appointments. In the case of this instrument, Taylor pretty much stuck with the traditional 800 series recipe. The guitar has Indian rosewood back and sides and a spruce top, in this case Lutz spruce. The appointments are taken straight from the 800 line with maple binding, abalone rosette, the standard 800 series fingerboard inlay in the ebony fingerboard. And you'll also notice that the ebony used here It has some really beautiful striping. Of course, it comes from the Taylor ebony mill in Cameroon, Africa. And we have the striping here. We have the striping in the Cutaway insert. You see it on the wooden pickguard, which is another 800 series trademark. And we also have an ebony peghead overlay up here on the peghead, which is also home to a set of Goto 510 tuning machines with a 1:21 tuning ratio. The guitar includes Taylor's ES2 pickup system, which of course consists of 3 piezo elements mounted behind the saddle. There's a built-in preamp with controls for volume and tone up here in the upper bout, and a standard output jack and battery compartment here in the end block of the guitar. I'll come back to showing you what the pickup sounds like through a Fishman amplifier. But for now, since you already heard me playing the guitar fingerstyle, let's also listen to Peghead Nation's Scott Nygaard playing the guitar with a pick. Okay, so that's the Taylor Builder's Edition 816 CE. Very cool new guitar, part of a quartet of Builder's Editions that were just introduced at the NAMM show. We're going to demo the other ones here very soon. Very excited about some of these new features Taylor's introducing with this. And this is definitely an instrument that shows some things that are ahead in the future for Taylor guitars. And I'm going to go out showing you what it sounds like plugged in through the Fishman Loudbox Mini Charge amplifier here. My name is Teja Gerken. Please come back to Peghead Nation for more of our gear demos.